Hello, my name's Kate Fellows. I'm the Head of Learning and Access for Leeds Museums and Galleries, and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's quite close to my heart, which is raising educational attainment outcomes for early years pupils by the time they've reached the end of foundation stage. And I'm going to do that using something else that's quite close to my heart, cake. So we've got Rocky Road here and we've got chocolate fudge cake here. Let's start by looking at the chocolate fudge cake. Now, lots of people think us as museum professionals are part of the sprinkles that come on the top of the chocolate fudge cake. In this case, little white chocolate stars. We would argue as a service that we can build a better cake for the whole city. So that means working with other agencies to form the icing and not just being the fluffy sprinkles on the top, as well as working with families to actually bake a better cake. Now, every family will have a different recipe for their best cake, so we can help them shape that and help them find that. But also as a city, we need to be able to bake a better cake. Now, the first way in baking a better cake is to know what your recipe is at the moment. So let's look at some statistics. In 2018, the Sutton Trust identified that there was an 11-month gap of children coming into early years settings from low income to middle income families. They were 11 months behind their peers. This doesn't necessarily close throughout early years, although it does shrink, and then it doesn't necessarily close throughout the rest of education and into their life. But again, it does shrink in certain circumstances. It's borne out across the North in the Growing Up North report as well, so you can look that one up. That tells you about the differences in the country between the North and the South. In Leeds, this means that 66% of children meet their educational attainment outcomes by the end of the early years foundation stage, but that's still quite a high percentage who don't. And I would say that is a rocky road of a cake. That is lumpy, that is bumpy, that is lovely and chocolatey. It's got all those lovely ingredients that you would want in it. It's got marshmallows, it's got raisins, it's got chocolate, but really, is it a chocolate fudge cake? So when you're starting to look at your early years practice as a service, I would say find out what your statistics are in your area and see then how you can help make a better cake. Find out where you sit in the patisserie window of cakes across the country. Now, we do this in 4 ways in Leeds. Our first way is that we are part of those strategic level conversations. So Leeds wants to be a UNESCO child-friendly city. And this forms into the Children and Young People's Plan for the city. Now, we as a service and the arts and cultural sector as a whole had a good hand in shaping that and what that looked like. And we are also, the city has identified, part of the answer in terms of raising educational attainment, because there is research that backs that up. Try the Imagination report if you're looking for something like that from the Cultural Learning Alliance. So we're part of those strategic conversations. Don't be scared of those. They're really cool to have. It's also part of our second strand, which is building partnerships at all levels. So we'll all have been part of those amazing projects where you've got a practitioner and they have brilliant conversations and awesome stuff happens. And then you want to do phase 2 and then one of you leaves and then the whole thing crumbles. Oh no, you don't want a plate full of cake crumbs. So what you need to do is build partnerships that don't just go at practitioner level, but also go at manager level and also go at that strategic level. That means it's organisation to organisation as well as person to person, and those will be the strongest relationships. Our third one is when we advocate for things, we don't just stand here and talk about us as a service, we talk about the whole of the arts and cultural landscape. It's a very pragmatic approach when it comes to early years, because actually early years students and early years practitioners don't differentiate by art form. They will do song and dance and object learning and lots of awesome stuff all rolled up into one. And therefore for our early years practice, we don't differentiate for that. And we build lots of partnerships across our programmes, but for early years particularly, we're more likely to be working with Opera North, Northern Ballet, Leeds Playhouse, lots of other different art forms to build that stronger offer. Finally, we always have an ethos and an approach of working for mutual benefit. This is part of an asset-based community development approach, or ABCD for short. There's lots of research, you can look it up. But it basically means that the communities can help themselves and that they just need that wraparound support to be able to do that. So that's where, again, we can become that icing which links the cake together, sandwiches it together, as well as being the sprinkles on the top. And that's how hopefully we can go from lovely looking but rocky road cake to chocolate fudge cake. Now, if you want more details, you can read the rest of the journal article. It's in the GEM Early Years Journal. Right now though, I'm off to go and try some of these. So I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.